Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
During the trial of Kermit Gosnell, the abortionist in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, President Obama became the first sitting president to speak at a Planned Parenthood event. And at the end of that message said, "God bless you," speaking of Planned Parenthood. Hi, I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me to talk about this is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. And Matt, you just recently wrote an article for WorldNet Daily, and it says, "Kermit Gosnell Trial, Much Ado About Nothing." And of course, it was tongue-in-cheek because what happened in the Kermit Gosnell trial that's come forth in terms of the butchery that takes place in his clinic is not unusual. Yeah. It's not like this is out of the ordinary. This is the face of abortion. And in the midst of this horrible trial, one which President Obama does not comment upon because he says it's still in trial, yet he comments on the Trayvon Martin case early on in the trial. He then goes to Planned Parenthood, speaks to them, says that he is going to always be there for Planned Parenthood, and then invokes God's blessing on the largest abortion provider in the country that has a record of 333,000 plus abortions performed last year.
Yeah, in my column, I called it Kermit Gosnell Trial, Much Ado About Nothing, and you're right, it was somewhat tongue-in-cheek. But the reality is I did that for a reason, because first, the media, the mainstream media, is treating it like it's nothing. In fact, a little worse than that, they're completely spiking the story. They don't want to cover this story because it does reveal what goes on behind the curtain, the house of horrors that is the abortion industry. And secondly, this is what happens at Planned Parenthoods. What happened in Kermit Gosnell's filthy, squalid abortion clinic happens at abortion clinics and Planned Parenthoods all across the country every day. Our friends at Live Action, Lila Rose, have caught a number of Planned Parenthoods, even admitting that after babies are born alive, they're killed. They're drowned in solution and poisonous solution.
They're recommending to flush them down the toilet.
If they're born alive, flush them down the toilet if you happen to be at home. So this is what abortion, and I pointed out in my article, what do you think we're talking about here? Do you think that a woman goes to an abortion clinic to get healed of something? It's not about healing, it's about killing. You have to kill babies in order to have, quote, reproductive freedom. And so the Kermit Gosnell trial has served to illustrate to the world what abortion really is, what it does, and that's why the media refuses to cover it.
It really is the face of abortion, the Kermit Gosnell trial, where these babies were born, and Gosnell or the staff would actually clip the back of the baby's neck and sever the spinal columns, clip it with the scissors. I mean, it's just what happened in Gosnell's clinic is indicative of what happens in abortion clinics. There was blood on the wall. There was aborted babies in the refrigerator, just one after another, stuck in the refrigerator. Some of them were flushed down the toilets. Some of the toilets were clogged because they had aborted babies that they had flushed down the toilets. This is the face of abortion. This is Kermit Gosnell. This is Planned Parenthood. This is the atrocity of abortion, and that's why the media does not want to cover it. In fact, CNN did cover it, though. CNN covered the closing argument of Gosnell's attorney, where Gosnell's attorney said, "Oh, this is just overblown. This is out of proportion. There's nothing going on here that's a problem." They covered his statement, but nothing about what happened in the abortion clinic.
Yeah, but these are babies that were born alive. These are babies that were crying, that were screaming, and in order to silence them, they decapitate them. There was one witness testified that a baby was thrown in a toilet, was trying to swim, trying to get out, was drowned in that toilet. This is so horrific, Matt, but a dead baby is a dead baby. That's what I pointed out in my article, and what I think has come to light. This has brought to attention the incongruity here. The idea that because a baby is 12 inches removed from the mother's, we're talking about the proximity of the baby to the mother in the womb, and that somehow that makes a difference. A dead baby is a dead baby.
It's such a contrast between the media's covering Sandy Hook, and obviously that was a tragedy, and there's no call for that kind of violence. But when we have the violence that takes place in the womb, the first home, they don't cover it at all because they think it might infringe on their so-called reproductive freedom, their sexual liberation that they want so much. And so they're willing to sacrifice another human being for that kind of selfish gratification. Now, we had a situation in Orlando where Angel was going to an abortion clinic in Central Florida in Orlando. She was told by her counselor to go there. She was pregnant. She already had 2 children. She had a late second trimester child, early third trimester, nothing wrong with the child. Went to this abortion clinic. The doctor was never there, the abortionist. On one day was given these drugs to induce the labor, was not given anything to kill the child. The next day went into labor, came to this abortion clinic, delivered this child in the toilet, and asked for help, screams for help. No help comes. She calls her friend on and that friend calls 911. When the ambulance gets there, they say, "Oh, don't worry, it's all taken care of. No big deal. We got it under control." Just to someone who was hysterical. Abortion has become such a part of who this country is, and people have become so desensitized to it. These paramedics never even go into the clinic. They drive away, shut off their lights, go back home, and this little baby dies. I go to the mortuary, and from where you pull out the slab, there is a little shoebox, and in that shoebox is baby Rowan. You can go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, click on abortion. You'll see there are 3 photos of baby Rowan. You'll see my finger touching baby Rowan. You'll see all of baby Rowan. Baby Rowan died through this tragedy of abortion. So what happens in Gosnell Clinic is not an unusual situation. It happens around the country.
Yeah. Yet 55 plus million little baby Rowans, just like those slaughtered in the Gosnell Clinic, have been killed post Roe v. Wade since 1973, murdered in the womb. This is very clear stuff. I mean, the euphemisms, the reproductive freedom language that is used, it's not sticking any longer. People are finally waking up to the horrific reality of abortion. It is simply murder. President Obama famously said during you mentioned the Trayvon Martin trial, when he essentially condemned George Zimmerman, who was presumed innocent, in my understanding of the law, and he said, if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon Martin. Well, I do have a son, Matt, and when he was born, he looked a whole lot like those little babies that Planned Parenthood murders on a daily basis, like those little babies murdered in the Kermit Gosnell Clinic. And interestingly enough, those little babies, particularly in the Gosnell Clinic, little black babies, a lot of them really do look an awful lot like Trayvon Martin.
Well, the fact is that this is human life. And when we sacrifice human life in the womb under personal choice and personal gratification or personal decisions, we ultimately cheapen the very image of God and the dignity of all humanity. And so when we start having this abortion mentality, and it's no wonder why people cheapen life at other ends of the spectrum. When you cheapen it at this end of the spectrum, then life doesn't have any real meaning at any other end of the spectrum as well. We need to come in this country to a place where this tragic history of abortion and bloodshed, not only to these children, but also to the mothers. Mothers are victims as well. And if you have had an abortion or know somebody who has had an abortion, the good news is that Christ sets you free, and Christ can break those chains, and you don't have to live with that continuing guilt. God can ultimately forgive you and set you free, but also use you as a mouthpiece, as a spokesperson, to make sure other women don't go down this tragic road of abortion and not only hurt and damage their own lives, but also take the life of their own child whom they should be the protector of. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org. That's lc.org. We also have partnered with Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar of the 19 Kids and Counting TV reality show, along with other pro-life organizations, and we've launched lifeunited.org. That's lifeunited.org. It's a comprehensive website on pro-life issues. That's lifeunited.org, lifeunited.org. Or you can go to Liberty Counsel's website for additional information and go there to lc.org. Continue to pray for Liberty Counsel's ministry, and you can support Liberty Counsel by making an online credit card contribution to help support our efforts to advance and protect human life, the most vulnerable, and that life begins at the moment of conception in the first home that all of us have enjoyed.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.